Greetings of the day, students. So, today it's story time, and we will be listening to a story today. So, the story name is The Selfish Giant. So, the story is about a man who is selfish and who is giant. Selfish means the person who thinks about himself only, and giant means who is very huge. So, there was a huge castle with a beautiful garden where children used to play. And this castle belonged to a giant who had been staying away from past 7 years. Then, one day, the giant returned to his castle and was furious to see children playing in his garden. He furiously told them to leave his garden and never to come back here. The children were frightened to see Giant's behavior and they ran away from the place. Then the giant put a board in front of his garden saying, "Trespassers will be prosecuted." And he also built a huge wall around his garden so that no one could enter it again. And the word prosecuted means that whosoever will try to enter his garden, the strict action will be taken against that person. Then what happens? This time the giant kept on waiting for the spring, but it did not come because he didn't allow the children to play in his garden. And soon the garden started to lose its beauty. And there was spring outside the giant's garden, but not in his garden. So, as the giant stopped the children to come into his garden, then the spring also didn't come into his garden. There was no greenery in his garden. There was greenery outside the walls of his castle, but not in his garden. Then one day the children entered in Giant's garden through a small hole in the wall. And then what happens? As soon as the children entered his garden again, he noticed that spring has arrived. And after that, when he noticed this thing, he welcomed the children happily by saying them that it's your garden. So he realized that he was being very selfish all the time and he was not sharing his garden with the children and was feeling sorry for whatever he had done. So, and then the giant became a kind person and began to play with the children. And the children also started to enjoy his company. So, when the giant agreed to share his garden with everyone, then every child was able to enjoy his company. The garden was back to its original phase with beautiful flowers, trees, and shining grass. So, when children started playing in the garden got its beauty again, and there were all over beautiful flowers, trees, and shining grass. So, what did we learn from this story? What is the moral of the story? That happiness can be achieved through selflessness and love. We should always spread love and share our things without thinking about ourselves only. Being selfish does not make us a better person. Selflessness is important to be a kind person. Sharing is caring. We should always share our things with others and spread love and happiness to others. That means if we will think about everyone around us, we will become a kind and a happy person. We should share our things and spread love with others. Thank you, kids. Please like and subscribe to my channel.